Welcome to this week's Quick Charge. The very first thing that God the Father gave his Son Jesus while he was on the earth was his validation. When he said, "This is my beloved Son in whom I am well pleased." Before there was ever a miracle or any sort of manifestation or any work of ministry or any quote-unquote proof, the Father validated his Son. Because of this, Jesus didn't need to produce miracles or generate manifestations or establish a movement of followers for his own validation. So what does it mean when you enjoy the validation of God in your life? Well, it simply means you have nothing to prove. Validation, by definition, says, I'm declared acceptable. I've been confirmed. I've been proven by the validator. It means there's nothing left for me to prove. God has already done it. Jesus said in John 5:41, I do not accept the honor that comes from men, and I can see that the love of God has found no home in you. Jesus didn't get his validation from people, nor did he need to prove his value or worth to them, but he recognized that they did that. Hence, no home for the love of God. When I have his validation, and I'm not trying to get it on my own, I won't feel compelled to prove anything. I won't feel the slightest need to prove how gifted I am, or how much God speaks to me, or what he does through me, or how much I know, or how many mysteries I may understand, or miracles I've known, or how godly or spiritual I am. I don't have to voice that prophetic word or possess some heavy revy or deep insight or word of knowledge or interpret a dream or sing the song of the Lord or pray some mighty prayer to be validated. All of those riches in Christ don't determine my worth or my value. I don't need to preface my conversations with, the Lord showed me this, or the Lord told me this, or this is how the Lord talks to me. When I feel the need to prove something, it is a telltale sign that I lack personal validation in my life. Only the Father can validate me. Others can't, no matter how much I look for it in them, which doesn't work anyway, but amazingly many still try. Jacob, as a young man and as a son, he lacked the validation of his father. So he spent much of his energy trying to prove his worth and his place and his significance to his brother Esau, seeking the validation that he lacked from his father, but to no avail. So people can't validate me, nor can they invalidate me. So the question is this: when I share or impart or contribute or talk or fellowship or interact or relate, is it to edify and love, or am I unknowingly wanting to bring validation to myself? If it's out of a place of faith, a place of validation where I have nothing to prove, it will edify and strengthen and encourage. But that same scenario, out of flesh, out of a lack of validation, where I have something to prove or I need to prove, it will be tainted and spoiled by the underlying quest for that self-validation. Am I using it to gain validation? The Father's validation comes as I cease to try and establish my own, and I submit to him. I must come under the validation of the Father. This is my beloved, and I am well pleased. Join me next week for another quick charge. God bless.